Okay. I'm going to try to remain calm, but no guarantees. Look, I'm not trying to belittle any celebrities or anyone that has insurmountable wealth beyond what you or I will ever see in our lifetimes. But there's all these fires, wildfires in Southern California that are tearing apart very posh areas of LA where there's multi-million dollar mansions that are burning up, celebrity houses, famous locations that a lot of movies were shot at. Like there's so many lists right now that you wouldn't even know where to begin. Like it is one of the most devastating wildfires that we ever seen. Maybe not in actual size, because obviously there's ones out in the wilderness that are 10 times bigger than what this is going to be in the end of things in Southern California. But there's one thing that is coming from these wildfires right now. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion, but it just doesn't feel like it is like the time or place to do this shit right now. It's to the point where actual news organizations, and I would name names, but pretty much all of them are doing it because I've been watching footage of news coverage from this. Pretty much every news organization has either gone out of the way to lead with a story of celebrities or McMillion mansions and stuff like that, the naming of this person, this celebrity, etc., their house burned up. And again, I know celebrities are people too, but I think of this and I put myself in the shoes of just like a random person that isn't a celebrity, that doesn't have one of 10 houses that burned up here in Southern California. I could just imagine being just some person that's, pretty well off. Maybe, I live in the Palisades area of Los Angeles. I'm making a good enough living, but not good enough to have 10 houses like Paris Hilton, which is one of the people whose houses burned up, one of their houses. And maybe I own the pizza shop around the corner and I made my living with that. I can imagine being that person or that family that has a family run business a couple blocks down the road from where they live, and that is their only house, that is their only means of making a living, and losing both instantly. Losing everything, every one of their personal possessions, and hopefully they didn't lose themselves and got out of harm's way. I could just imagine being that person and having to put on the news and see one of Paris Hilton's 20 homes just burned up today. John Goodman's home burned up today. Billy Crystal's home burned up today. Hearing these like list of celebrities, like trying to put a face on it. Anthony Hopkins, that was another person. Like all these names I said, by the way, were people that actually lost a property in these California wildfires. And again, I'm not trying to belittle these people at all. It sucks. I don't care if you have 100 or 1,000 houses. It sucks to still lose one. It is your personal possession. It is your personal property, and you didn't do anything to deserve this. Like, I don't care if you think Paris Hilton is one of the people that backed her way into fame and life and got born in the right family with the right amount of money. Like, I don't care what you think about her personally. She didn't do anything to have her house burned down, anything to deserve having her house burned down. So, but I'm just seeing like just these endless reports, like, and I get that they're trying to make headlines and put a face on it because, like, look, celebrities are losing their houses, people. They're rich and famous. So what? It's not the time right now. God damn, I can't imagine being someone that has one house, one business to work at, and you lost both. And you got to sit here and try and have the news make you feel sorry for Paris Hilton losing one of her 12 houses? You kidding me? I don't know. Maybe this hits different. And again, I'm not trying to make this about me, but those of you know, I live in an area here where we got hit by a tornado a few years ago, and I saw some of my neighbors lose everything. We were lucky here in this house that we only sustained tens of thousands of dollars of damage. And in any singular incident, like, oh, that's a major thing. But man, if you looked at some of my neighbors, they would have loved to have just what damage happened here. And I couldn't imagine if like I had to turn on the news that day and they said something like, I don't know, like a Phillies player that lives in the area, their house, got some damage, trees knocked down in the yard or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, my neighbor's house just got condemned. I don't care about some trees getting knocked down in the Phillies player yard or something like that. Anyway, Jesus, it's crazy that like it's I don't mean to laugh, but it's funny that like you harp on people on YouTube for like doing the false thumbnails and salacious titles and stuff like that, and you see the media doing this during a disaster when it's still happening. Leading with Paris Hilton, John Goodman, Billy Crystal, Anthony Hopkins, all houses destroyed today. So what? All those houses were destroyed today. Doesn't matter who owned them. Like, you have to try and go out of your way to grab viewers to get the people that are good too. Oh my God, a celebrity. I can relate to that. I know that person. I don't know the guy who had the pizza shop around the corner from John Goodman, but I know who John Goodman is. Oh, let me click this video. Stop pandering to those idiots. It's not the time. Anyway. This is going to be one of the biggest disasters in this country, and it's still ongoing. Jesus. No, this is the I always not joked, but like I said to people, like one of the states I've never been to is California, and I always said like I don't want to go to California. There's too many ways that you can die that are out of your control, like a mudslide, an earthquake, a wildfire, and case in point here. Anyway. A lot of celebrities' houses burned up, people. You wouldn't know anyone else's did, because that's kind of like all you're hearing about here if you watch the news. Again, I'm just making this video to speak out for the people that lost literally everything other than themselves. I couldn't imagine just going to work one day and the next day, your work and your house and every possession that you didn't hurriedly pack into a car, hopefully, and you got out of the harm's way. I can't imagine. I can't imagine being those people right now. Paris Hilton will be fine. John Goodman will be fine. Billy Crystal will be fine. All these other celebrities you're hearing about, they'll be fine. They'll be a lot better. Again, it's not, I know it's going to come off sound like, oh, what is, it doesn't matter if a house of a celebrity burns up. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just trying to say it is a lot worse for a lot more than what is honestly a handful of celebrities here that had their houses burned up, their possessions burned up, and that they have still many more possessions and houses on top of that. So let's not lead with them, news companies. All right. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this. That is all.